The clock strikes 2 as I stand in the doorway of my cluttered room, staring at the chaos that mirrors my scattered thoughts. Empty coffee cups, scattered papers, and clothes strewn across every surface create a landscape of neglect. The dim glow of my desk lamp casts long shadows across the floor, highlighting the dust bunnies in the corners. I take a deep breath, feeling the weight of unfinished tasks pressing down on me. My hands tremble slightly as I pick up the first item, a half-empty water bottle that's been sitting on my nightstand for days. The cool plastic feels foreign in my grip, like I'm touching a stranger's belongings. I make my way to the trash can, each step deliberate and measured. The soft padding of my bare feet on the carpet is the only sound in the otherwise silent house. As I sort through the piles of clothes on my floor, memories attached to each item flood back. The concert t-shirt from last summer, the sweater from an ex, the jeans I wore on my first day at the new job. Each piece tells a story, and I find myself hesitating before deciding whether to keep or discard. The fabric feels heavy with nostalgia and regret. The vacuum cleaner roars to life, its familiar hum drowning out the anxious thoughts racing through my mind. I push it back and forth across the carpet, watching as it devours the accumulated dirt and debris. The repetitive motion becomes meditative, each pass bringing a small sense of accomplishment. The air fills with the scent of dust and cleaning solution. I open the windows, letting in the cool night air that carries the distant sounds of the city. The sudden influx of fresh oxygen makes my head spin slightly, but it's a welcome change from the stale atmosphere of my room. I can hear the occasional car passing by, its headlights briefly illuminating my space before disappearing into the darkness. The bookshelf catches my eye next, its contents threatening to spill over onto the floor. I run my fingers along the spines of the books, some well-loved and others barely touched. As I rearrange them by color and size, I'm reminded of the different versions of myself that each book represents. The task feels both comforting and overwhelming. My desk is a disaster zone of papers, pens, and half-finished projects. I start sorting through the piles, separating important documents from the trash. As I do, I find old notes and doodles that transport me back to different moments in time. The act of organizing my physical space feels like I'm trying to organize the chaos in my mind. The mirror on my closet door reflects a tired version of myself, dark circles under my eyes and hair in disarray. I stare at my reflection, wondering when I became so disconnected from the person looking back at me. The act of cleaning feels like I'm trying to scrub away more than just physical dirt. I'm searching for a version of myself I've lost along the way. As I make my bed, smoothing out the wrinkles in the sheets, I feel a sense of control returning to my life. The simple act of creating order in one small corner of my world brings a wave of calm. I fluff the pillows and arrange them just so, creating a perfect nest that I hope will bring restful sleep. The closet door creaks open, revealing a jumble of shoes, bags, and forgotten items. I start pulling everything out, creating a mountain of belongings on my now clean floor. As I sort through each item, I'm confronted with the weight of my material possessions and the emotional baggage they carry. The task seems endless, but I push forward. I find an old photo album buried under a pile of sweaters, its pages filled with smiling faces from a time when life seemed simpler. As I flip through the pictures, memories flood back, family vacations, childhood friends, moments of pure joy. The contrast between then and now is stark, and I feel a lump forming in my throat. The trash bag fills up quickly as I discard items I no longer need or want. Each piece of trash feels like a weight being lifted off my shoulders. The physical act of letting go mirrors my desire to release the emotional baggage I've been carrying. The bag grows heavier, but I feel lighter with each item I discard. As I wipe down surfaces with a damp cloth, the familiar scent of cleaning products fills the air. The repetitive motion of wiping and polishing becomes almost hypnotic, allowing my mind to wander. I think about the areas of my life that need cleaning, toxic relationships, unhealthy habits, negative thought patterns. The physical cleaning becomes a metaphor for inner work. The laundry basket overflows with clothes that need washing, a physical representation of the neglected aspects of my life. I sort the items by color, creating neat piles that contrast with the chaos they emerged from. As I load the washing machine, I'm reminded that sometimes the most important work happens behind closed doors, out of sight. I rearrange my furniture, pushing the bed to a different wall and moving the desk to catch the morning light. The act of changing my physical space feels like I'm trying to change my perspective on life. Each piece of furniture moved represents a shift in how I want to approach my days and nights. The plants in my room look sad and neglected, their leaves drooping and soil dry. I take my time watering each one, talking to them softly as I do. The act of nurturing these living things reminds